Okay, welcome everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to your wake up practice with me, Vicky, if we haven't met yet. And on a Tuesday, well, throughout the week, we alternate between length and strength. Yesterday we did some lengthening stuff. This morning it will be about strength, and we're focusing on the upper body again. And then later on in the week, we go to the lower body, again, length and strength. Cool. So let's begin either kneeling or seated. Whatever suits you, and we'll just do a little bit of settling before we get moving. And with the strength sessions, we actually work through 10 rounds of sun salutations, and in between each round we do some strengthening exercises, but they're optional as well. Gives you the chance to dip in and out as and when you feel. So hopefully that makes sense. Don't worry if it doesn't. We'll just do it, yeah? Okay, so just come to find a comfortable seat. And my hands are just resting down on my knees, my mid-thighs. Try and ease the shoulders back and down. Have a nice heaviness to the pelvis, really ground down through the sit bones, whether they're resting on a prop, your heels, or the earth. And a little bit of length through the spine. Although we're nice and soft in the belly, we've still got a nice long spine. The crown of the head is coming up to the sky. Maybe soften down the gaze or just close the eyes for a few moments as you just take a few moments to arrive and settle on your mat this morning. I like to take a few sighing breaths just to really arrive. So wherever you are, just take a nice long exhale and then breathe in and sigh it out through the mouth. I'm going to do 2 more like that. Deep, rich breath in. And then let it go through the mouth. Good, last one. Deep, rich breath in. Really fill up the lungs. And then sigh it out. Let it go. Great. So allow stillness to just wash over the body. And really embracing physical stillness, just to check in and see how we are this morning. I want you to ask yourself that question. How am I? How am I doing? And it's just about listening to whatever comes up. Building a little bit of context before we begin our movement part of the practice, so that we can move in ways that feel good for our individual bodies. So just listening to anything that's coming up. Maybe it's a long to-do list for the rest of the week. Maybe it's bits of tightness or tension or even niggles, injuries that you're working with. Everything's valid. All feelings are valid. It's about listening, acknowledging, and then working through them, knowing that time on your mat is just about you and having these private, internal conversations that we often don't have time for. So they're part of your practice, and you've carved out this half an hour of your morning. So really commit and dedicate the next chunk of your morning to yourself, to this time. So as best as you can, let's stay on our mats and in each moment before our days commence. And as always, the best tool for this is your breath. So if you haven't already, let's just start to settle into a more conscious style of breathing. So a nice long exhale wherever you are. And then we'll breathe in through the nose for a count of 1, 2, 3. Breathing out for 3, 2, 1. Keep that up. Deep, rich breaths in. And long, slow breaths out. And with the eyes closed, just follow the journey of your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Ideally, we're sending it nice and deep into the belly. So as you inhale, belly rises, torso expands. And as you exhale, belly lowers, torso contracts. And with each cycle of breath, you might be getting a little bit deeper. You might be allowing the breath to move a little bit more smoothly. Nice, long, deep, rich breaths. And just allow the breath to take over now as the thoughts of the day or how you are just ebb away now. And we're really tuning into the physical body. Wishing you all a lovely practice this morning. On your next inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, start to reach either your fingertips or your knuckles forward, and we're just going to pause here. So we're just going to move the shoulder joint a little bit before we start to build into some strengthening stuff. So hollow out the chest, spread the shoulder blades and really reach forward. Good, and then do the complete opposite. Float the fingertips back, squeeze the shoulder blades together and start to kind of draw the chest forward and broaden through the front of the chest. And we're just going to do that a few times. So inhale to come forward and hollow out the chest, spread the shoulder blades. And exhale to come back. In fact, it feels a bit better doing the exhale to come forward and inhale back. Whatever feels good for you. I'm going to inhale forward and exhale back. But if that doesn't feel right, just switch it. Good. Inhale, fingertips back. And exhale, rounding forward. And just keep doing that a few times. And with this, we're protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. And the shoulders move in so many directions, and we're just going to kind of go through them now. As you go back, you might even want to drop the thumbs down just to help you squeeze and open through the chest. Just do about 3 more with the breath. Exhale forward, inhale back. Nice. And now we're going to kind of adduct and abduct. So fingertips are going to float up and down. And just keep doing that. Inhale up, exhale down. If you feel like the fingertips are kind of swishing along the floor, you can just soften the elbows as you come down, but just taking the arms out and wide and then into the midline. And again, inhale up, exhale down. And just do that again a few times. Notice how that feels. You can even come up a little bit higher if you want, onto the knees and the shins if you want the space. Inhale up, exhale down. Good. And hopefully the shoulder joint's starting to warm up, yeah? So we're still nice and neutral with the spine. We're just flying the arms out and bringing them into the midline. Good. Okay, for this one, you can sit back down if you lift it up. We're going to keep the arms up and you're just going to elevate the shoulders and then drop them down. So you're going to try and touch your earlobes and then drop them down. So this is called elevation and depression. So the shoulders can move up and down. Think about shrugging the shoulders, yeah? So up and down. And again, just do that a few times. I'm sure the shoulder joint's already starting to feel warm. Don't worry, it's going to get warmer. Good. Do that for another 10 seconds. And try and really isolate the shoulder joint. You might feel like you're moving from the waist a little bit. Try to reduce that. Last 3, 2. Good. On 1, float the fingertips down in front of you. And now we'll just internally and externally rotate. So it's just like you're swishing your hands from side to side. And again, maybe make a fist and just really focus on moving from the top of the upper arm to right in the shoulder joint. Think about really spinning the elbows or the inner elbows out and then dipping and turning the inner elbows in. So try and move up the arm a little bit. Sometimes when we focus just on the hands, the movement isn't coming from the top of the upper arm. Maybe go a little bit quicker for the last 10 seconds. 3, 2, are we still breathing? Good, on 1. Shake the arms out. Just do a few shoulder rolls now. So just getting into the whole of the joint, maybe place the fingertips on the top of the shoulder and just circle the elbows forwards and backwards. Good, and then give everything a little shake and we'll come forward into tabletop. Nice. So all fours position. Good, and just notice how that feels. We'll move around a little bit here, so you've got some little side to side movements, and then your cats and cows. Again, this is your practice, so just move in ways that feel good. But with that reminder that we're really focusing this morning on the waist up, so really think about the shoulder movement, the chest and the upper back when you're doing all of this stuff. We'll focus on the lower body, like I said, a little bit later in the week, from tomorrow in fact. Great, and then when you feel ready, tuck all 10 toes and the hips nice and high, downward facing dog. And we'll just stay here for a moment before we kind of walk forward and meet in a little dangle at the top of the mat, ready to start our 10 rounds of sun salutations. So whenever you feel ready, just journey to the top of the mat. Once you've had a little walk out in your downward dog, and in your dangle, you might just want to clasp the hands up and overhead. You might want to do a few more movements through the arms. Again, what feels good for you this morning? You might just want to hang heavy and let the arms just really drape forward. Either way, just enjoy these few moments. Maybe find the breath again. And then we'll come to stand, so really stacking the vertebra nice and slowly, coming all the way up. Good, and just notice how you feel standing at the top of your mat. Give everything a little shake, a roll of the shoulders. Awesome, so 10 rounds of sun salutations. Option to just stick with your downward dog or join in with the little strengthening exercises as and when you feel you'd like to. Right, inhale, arms forward and up. Full body stretch, really enjoy that. Exhale, full forward fold, hands to the floor. So soften the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, come up to a flat back and lengthen, crown of head forward. Exhale, big step back to your plank. Let's lower the knees and the belly, the chest to the floor, nice and controlled. Inhale, peel the chest up, roll the shoulders back, press the tops of the feet down. Use the back muscles to help you. Exhale, knees stay down, hands stay down, hips go back and high. Downward facing dog. Okay, nice and easy on this first one. We're just going to spend 30 seconds rolling backwards and forwards from a plank to a downward dog. So you might want to lengthen your downward dog and go a little bit wider with the feet and the hands, just to roll forwards and backwards. And just really thinking about how the shoulder joint's moving here. Coming all the, maybe even creeping the shoulders a little bit further forward over the fingertips. It's an inhale to ripple forward, and it's an exhale to come back. And it's less about kind of moving the spine, it's more about thinking about how the shoulders coping with this movement and weight. Last 10 seconds. Good, getting your form nice in your high plank. Good, make that your last one. And then from downward dog, look forward, walk, step, or maybe hop the feet. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and inhale, we rise. Good, exhale, back to stillness. Okay, round 2, inhale, arms up. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. Again, we'll stick with knees and we'll lower the belly to the floor. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift through the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. So from here, take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to meet in a tabletop position. So we're going to take some scapular presses here. I want you to start in tabletop, and then if you feel that that's a little bit easy, you have the option to walk the knees back and come into more of a half plank. If you feel that's easy, you can tuck the toes and come into a full plank. But I'll just start off with tabletop, and then you can choose your options. So I want you to broaden through the shoulders, push the floor away, make the shoulder blades disappear, hollow out the chest, and then collapse down. So these are called kind of scapular presses. So we're just pressing the floor away and then allowing the chest to collapse down. And I want you to do this for about 30 seconds, for as long as you can. Like I said, if that feels pretty easy, walk the knees back and work with them in a half plank or maybe a full plank. So the arms don't move, it's just the shoulder joints. So the elbow stays pretty locked out, a little bit soft, but it's just this movement forwards and backwards. You can come back and do them here if you want, if the weight is too much for your shoulders. It's just like you imagine pushing a heavy door and then letting it collapse back on you. Well, I've been talking lots, so let's do another 25 seconds from now. If you've been going for a little bit longer, don't worry. It's all building strength and mobility in the shoulder joint. Stay with me. Good. If you want to have a go at your full plank ones, have a go. Even if you do a few less, it's more about the technique. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, good. On 1, hips high. Take a big breath in, look forward, exhale, top of the mat, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and inhale, we rise. Good. Exhale, back to stillness. Round 3, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So if you want now, you can take chaturanga. Just be mindful if you're not familiar with it yet and you're working up to it, stick with your presses. It's a much better way and journey to chaturanga. From downward dog, we're dropping the knees again. And we're going to take a hover now. So remember what you know, that broadening through the upper back, that spreading of the shoulder blades. I want you to hold that position, tuck all 10 toes and then hover your knees. We're here for 30 seconds. If it's a little bit much, take a break on the exhale and come back in. You can even lift and lower with the breath. But again, send your attention to the upper half of you, waist upwards, push the floor away, hollow out the chest. Gaze slightly forward. We're halfway. You've got 15 more seconds. Might be a little bit shaky. Last 10. You've got this. Draw the navel in. Keep spreading those shoulder blades apart for 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice. On 1, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Look forward. Exhale. Walk, step or hop. Halfway lift. Well done, guys. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise. And exhale, back to stillness. Okay, round 4. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, fold. How are the shoulders feeling? How's the breath? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. Chaturanga, or you stick with your knees, guys, yeah? Inhale, up dog, or you stick with your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, we're coming into forearm plank. So best way to get into this, I think, is from high plank. So walk the feet back, roll forward, know where your high plank is, and then bring the elbows to the earth and your forearms down. And we're staying here. Now, if it's 30 seconds, if it's too much, you drop the knees, but you still do that broadening of the upper back. So just like we did before, we're pushing through the forearms now instead of the hands. Okay, you're already halfway. Stay with me. Draw up through the thighs. Feet can be a little wider if you want to help you out. 10 more seconds. You got this for 5. Stay strong for 4, 3, 2. Good, on 1. Maybe lift the hips high, walk the feet in. See if you can push through the hands and come to downward dog. And then walk, step or hop. You know the score. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise. Good. Exhale, back to stillness. Okay. Round 5. Inhale, arms up. Doing great, guys. Exhale, fall forward, fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So, after you've taken your vinyasa, this round we're going to do presses for 30 seconds. So, not scapular presses this time. We're going to take presses, normal presses. So you can either do chaturanga ones or you can keep your knees down. And I advise you, if you know your form suffers with the chaturanga presses, stick with the knees down. They're hard enough already. So knees down, draw the navel in, maybe creep the shoulders forward a bit. That will make it a little bit harder, or stay back. If that's all too much, come to tabletop, send the forearms back. It's almost like you're trying to kiss the floor. That's option 1. Option 2, knees further back. Option 3, tuck the toes and take a chaturanga press. But remember, we're doing it for 30 seconds. Off we go. Yogi's choice. Breathing. It's an inhale to push up. It's an exhale to come down. Good, nice. Halfway. Nice and controlled. It's not how many we do. It's our form, it's our technique, and it's our breath. Good. Last 10 seconds. You got this, no problem. 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice. On one, little push back. Maybe a brief child's pose. Lift the hips, look forward, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and inhale, we rise. Nice. Exhale back to stillness. Okay, round 6. So we're going to start working towards our dolphin. So take your little flow. Vinyasa will feel nice and strong now. Maybe you're trying your chaturanga. Yeah? Nice. From downward dog. So we're going to hover our elbows towards the floor. So just look forward, make sure your fingers are spread, and then allow yourself to find downward dog. And all we're doing is we're kind of teasing our elbows to the floor, then we're changing our mind. And it's just the elbows that are moving. There's no movement of the torso. The torso is super strong. Nothing else is moving. Hover the elbows, push the floor away. 30 seconds, off you go. There's a tendency to want to lift the index finger knuckle and the thumb joint a little bit. I want you to really press those down and wrap into your midline. Almost think of the elbows and the armpits trying to face one another. Good. Last 10 seconds. Remember, it's not how many you do. It's your form, it's your breath. Yoga's practice, right? It's not just a all-out kind of thing. It's a consistent, regular time on your mat. Last 3, 2, well done. On 1, look forward. Walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise. So if that felt good, we're now going to come into our full dolphin and we'll hold for 45 seconds, okay? So inhale, arms up. Exhale, full forward fold. So just a little bit longer, but we'll come in exactly just like that. So we'll hover the elbows, but this time we'll let them come all the way down. So take an inhale and then exhale. You might want to do one elbow at a time. Another way is to kind of find your forearm plank and then walk your feet in, yeah? Knees can be soft in downward dog, in dolphin. Don't worry about the knees, yeah? Focus on pressing through the forearms, sending the weight back, letting the head be heavy, and really pushing through your forearms and your index finger knuckle and your thumb joint. Okay, we've already done 10 seconds. If it's too much, you take a little break in between, but just focus on your breath. Soften the knees, walk the feet forward as much as you can. We've got 20 more seconds, guys. Stay strong. Weight back, hips high. 10 more seconds, you've got this. Good, nice. 3, 2, good. On 1, maybe walk the feet back a little, push through the hands, lift up the elbows, look forward, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and inhale, we rise. Good, so we've got 3 more rounds. How are we feeling? Hope we're good. So last little bit of work on dolphin. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, full forward fold. So we're going to take dolphin rocks. You take your vinyasa, remember? You can skip these. You can just push back to downward dog. So if dolphin felt okay, you might want to stay with that, or you might want to come back to those hovers. But if you're feeling okay, we're going to drop the forearms and maybe clasp the hands together. That might help you a little bit, like as if you're going to do a headstand. And then all we're doing is we're bringing the chin over the thumbs, and then we're sending the weight back. So it's a little bit of strength, but a little bit of mobility as well within the shoulders. And we're really kind of focusing on the shoulders here because we've lost the elbow joint. It's just from the elbow to the shoulder joint that's working, yeah? Maybe through the side body as well. We're doing this for 30 seconds, so let's do 20 more. Hopefully you're with me. You started with me. Try and get the nose, the chin to go over the thumbs, and then push all the way back. Good, last 10. How's the breath? Inhale forward, exhale back for 3, for 2. Nice, last one. Good, push through the hands, lift the elbows, look forward, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and inhale, we rise. Okay, how are we doing? 2 more rounds. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fall forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, big step back. So we're coming back to the presses, okay? You're going to do another 30 seconds of pressing. Now remember, you've got a few options. You've got your tabletop presses, yeah? You've got your same ones, but you want the knees a little bit further back. If you want, you can come back to your dolphin presses, yeah, if you liked those. If you want a little bit of a challenge, you can even hover your elbows in dolphin. Either way, 30 seconds of pressing, or you've got your chaturanga pressing, yeah? Off you go. And remember, it's not how many we're doing, it's our nice technique. Long spine, we're not collapsing through the chest, we're still broadening through the shoulder blades. We're lowering with control, we're pushing back up with control. And don't worry how low you go, even if you're just going a little bit down and then a little bit up. The full range will come. You've got 10 more seconds. Keep pressing. You've got this for 5. Stay with me for 4. For 3. For 2. Let's all do one more. Lower down. Inhale, push up. Well done. Hips back and high. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Look forward, walk, step or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we rise. Great, guys. Okay, last round. So we're going to hold either a half chaturanga or full chaturanga. Now, if you're like, no way, Vicky, that's too much, come back to your forearm plank or maybe even a high plank. And we're going to try and do a minute, okay? So don't worry if you don't last the minute. It's just there as a guide. And if you do, I'll give you a halfway call. So if you want to come out after halfway and go to plank, that's what you can do. So either way, roll forward into plank. You're either staying here, off we go, 1 minute, or you're dropping the knees, you're coming into your half chaturanga, or your full chaturanga. But remember, we've got a minute. You want to be nice and long. You want to draw the navel in. You're already 20 seconds in. Well done, guys. Try not to tilt the bum up. Okay, we're coming up to halfway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to come to half chaturanga, but you've got the option to come to your plank, your forearm plank, yogi's choice. Stay strong. Last 20 seconds, guys. You've got this. Good. Breathe as well. Last 15. Nearly there. Stay with me for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Release down to the belly wherever you are. Woo. Hands underneath the forehead and just give everything a little rock from side to side. Let it go. So we're nearly there with the time, but let's just quickly do a nice stretch of the front of the chest. So bring out your right hand to the side of the mat like an aeroplane wing and just roll on to the right side. We'll just take a few breaths here, stretching the front of the chest. Really good stretch, especially if you're sitting at a computer all day or driving a lot. Need to stretch your pec minor. Good. Come back to centre, switch it out. Left arm out to the side, push the right arm down. That top leg can just act as another little added extra to really open up. Nice. Good. Those strength sessions can feel quite wholesome, especially when you notice the strength building and all of a sudden things stop shaking and you start to feel that the body's actually gaining some strength. So roll back to the belly, push yourself up, come back to where we began. either crossing at the ankles or kneeling. Give yourself a nice little shoulder roll, and anything else you feel you might need, a nice little stretch of the triceps maybe might feel nice. Close the eyes. Allow the hands to rest down once you've done any final bits. Maybe they're just resting on the lap or the belly. And with the eyes closed, just take a couple of really grounding breaths. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And on your next exhale, just lower the chin down as a little sign of gratitude for your time, your mat time, your fellow yogis for joining you. And let's all have gratitude for the day ahead and all that it may bring. Well done, guys. Have a lovely Tuesday. Great to see you. Same time tomorrow for some hip opening. And yeah, any questions, stay online or drop us an email. And well done, day 2 of the 7-day challenge if you're taking part in that. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well done.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Bex.
Bye. Well done.